go ahead and record. Now, basically, what we're going to be talking about, I'll tell you. So we're talking about the path to purpose, right? And we're talking, so 4 things we're going to cover, right? Win big, we've done that. 5 alive. What is the 5 alive, right? What is 5 alive? Now, it's not the juice, but it helps to give you the juice, right? And then what are the 7 levels of awareness? And then lastly, we'll now come up with action steps that you can take to be great at everything you're doing, right? So let me just go ahead and I'll tell you guys about my own path to purpose, right? If you joined me in my Instagram live, you would have known a bit about this background story, but I'll give you guys the background story, right? And what led me down this path to where I am today. Now, the thing that led me down this path is totally unrelated from speaking, coaching, and training. Now, I've been working in downstream oil and gas since 2009, right? And so one day, it was about 2012, 2013. We're sitting down with my colleagues in the office, and we're just talking about what are the things that we can do, apart from work. You know how it is that you're just tired of work. You want to have work-life balance. You want to be able to do so many things. And so I figured that what is the one thing that I've always loved? And I realized that one thing that I've always loved is horses. From when I was a kid, right? All the trouble that I entered as a kid was as a result of horses in one form or the other. And so I told my colleagues that, you know what? I think I'm going to start playing polo. And guess what happened at that time? Everybody started laughing. Every single person that was in that office that day just burst out laughing. And I felt discouraged. I was like, why are these guys laughing? Like, is this something that I can't do? And so because of their laughter now, you see, when you are faced with difficult circumstances in life, you either step forward into courage and into greatness, or you step back into fear and mediocrity. Now, the choice is yours. You either step forward or you step backward. Now, I decided to step forward. And I said, you know what? Despite this laugh that these guys are laughing at me, I will do my best to see if I can make this dream come true. And so what did I do? I closed from work the other day and I branched at Kano Polo Club. And I met, a guy there, Kabiru. And Kabiru was like, hey, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, I want to learn polo. How can I start? And he was like, do you know how to ride horses? I was like, yeah, a bit. And he says, okay, there's a horse here. Ride, let's see. And I was riding. And long story short, let me not bore you guys with too much details. The replay of the Instagram live I did is up. Now, I started playing polo. Now, when I started playing polo, I wanted to post pictures of polo, flexing pictures. If you follow me on Instagram, you would definitely see a couple of, pictures that I've posted before. Now, I didn't want to just be posting the pictures because at that point, I got bored of posting just the pictures. And now what did I do? I now decided that I would be posting the pictures with, sort of like motivational quotes. And so I was posting pictures with motivational quotes. And then because of those pictures with motivational quotes, I saw that it was inspiring a lot of people. People were telling me, oh, these words that you're saying, they touched me. They mean a lot. I really appreciate that. I was like, are you serious? That means maybe this whole, I can actually even be a motivational speaker. And so that's how I started. Now, while I was playing polo, one day I just sat down randomly. I decided to buy a drone. And when I bought a drone, at that time in Nigeria, there were no much drones. DJI had just started. This was in 2014 or so. Now, most people didn't even have drones. In fact, the government didn't even know what drones were, right? So there was no ban on drones. And at that time, I could fly my drones anywhere. I could go anywhere. I'll fly in the market. People will gather, they'll run away and all that kind of thing. Now, because of that drone that I bought, I was now able to start shooting polo videos aerially. Now, I don't want to tell you, let me not bore you with too much details, but I was able to get so much contract from there. I made multiple six-figure, income from it, right? Multiple six-figure income. I was able to make, six-figure income multiple times, not once, not twice, multiple times. Now, what that did for me was that it helped me to just to have confidence in myself, to be able to say, you know what, for every step that I take, there's a reason. I'm able to be, do, and have more. And so I started, taking those steps. Now, because of those steps, and remember I said that I started posting, polo pictures, and I was posting really nice captions and all that. I decided to, let me motivate people more. I'm always telling people you can be, do, and have more. You can, overcome your limiting beliefs and all that. And I felt like a fraud. I felt like I was telling people to do that, but I wasn't confronting my own fears. Now, one of the greatest fears I had then was that I couldn't write. So I felt like I couldn't write. I felt like I wasn't a good writer. And so I decided to write a book. Now, when I wrote my book, I was going to sell only 200 copies. I was like, you know what? If I sell 200 copies, it's fine. Guess what happened, guys? The first week I released that book, I sold out the 200 copies. And so when I sold out the 200 copies, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And, that now further gave me that boost and that ginger. And today, I'm a business leadership coach. I'm the CEO of the Business Leadership Consulting and the president of the Business Leaders Club. All because I branched from work to try to play polo. It's worlds apart. It has nothing to do with anything, right? One of them doesn't have anything to do with the other. Now, what you need to understand is that your purpose might not be, the beginning of your purpose might not be related to the end of your purpose. So, but what you need to consistently do is to say yes. Whenever you have an idea, whenever you have a desire, say yes to that desire. Say yes and overcome any limiting belief that you're going to have, right? Now, let's jump into it. What is the 5 Alive? Now, we're going to be talking about 7 levels of awareness, but I want you to think about it from 5 core areas in your life. And those 5 core areas are faith, right? Faith, family, fitness, right? Flourish, and finances. Now, the reason why I want you to look at those things is because those are the 5 key areas of your life. If you are able to consistently grow in those 5 areas, you will be the definition of success. You see, we see a lot of people that are successful money-wise. They make a lot of money, but they lose out on their family. Of what use is the money that you're going to make if you don't have siblings, family, kids, people that love you? And when I say family, I'm not talking about just your family. I'm talking about friends and family, right? If you don't have people around you that can actually support you when you are down, that can actually help you to go through bad times, of what essence is that money? Of what essence is the money that you're going to make if you lose out on your faith, right? Of what essence is it the money you're going to make if you now lose out on your health and your fitness? And you now make, and it's so funny, like human beings, we sacrifice our health to make money, right? Only for us to now use that money to try to fix our health. Meanwhile, all you have to do is to tweak certain things as you are making that money, and you will see that you live a balanced life. Now, flourish. What is flourish? Flourish is growth in your work or your business. Of what use is it for you to be the same person that you were last year? Think about it. Of what use is it for you right now to be the best version you will ever be? Imagine if they tell you that who you are today is the best you will ever be. That's a very depressing thought. And so I want you to think about what we're going to talk about in these 5 areas. Don't get distracted with the juices. I know some people are thinking, oh my God, see juice, sweet juice, let me drink, right? Don't get distracted by the juices. But what I want you to think about is how you can, how you can think about what we're talking about in these 5 key areas, right? And for you to be able to now grow yourself, right? But here's what I want you to do, right? It's awareness, not judgment. I want you to take note of this. It's awareness, not judgment. Now, when we say it's 7 levels of awareness, it's to make you aware. I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to think, if I'm describing it and you feel like you are at a low level of awareness, I don't want you to feel, oh my God, I'm bad and nothing good is happening in my life. I'm at a low level of awareness. This life is hard. I don't want you to think about it that way. What I want you to think about is, okay, I'm at a low level of awareness. What can I do to improve, to increase my awareness in any of those 5 key areas? So it's awareness, not judgment. That one I want to make it clear before we even start. Now, let's start with the first level of awareness. Now, the first level of awareness is the animal level of awareness. Now, what is the animal level of awareness? The animal level of awareness is, so you see, what is the difference between we human beings and animals, right? I want you to type it in the comment section. Look, this course is going to be very interactive. I want to interact with each of us. I want us to interact. And so what do you think the major difference is between we human beings and animals? I want you to type in the comment section. Let's see. I'm watching the comment section to see. Okay, so Ahmed says rationality. I like that. We're able to think. We're able to be rational. Great. What else? Who else? Who else can tell me? What else do you think? What else do you think? Clear sense of reasoning. Abdul Malik says clear sense of reasoning. I love that. Yusuf says cognitive flexibility and mindfulness. Oluwashola says reasoning. Fantastic. I love all your answers. All your answers are spot on. And you are right. The thing that differentiates us from animals is our reasoning, our thinking faculty, our intellectual faculty. Now, we are blessed with several intellectual faculties. Now, one of the things when you're interacting with people and you ask them, how do you interact with the world? Do you know what they will tell you? They see, they smell, they taste, they touch, and they hear, right? But if you want to really be successful, right, these faculties that I mentioned are the primal faculties. Even animals do that. Animals can taste, animals can smell, animals can hear, and they can see. What separates you to put you at a higher pedestal than an animal is when you start using your intellectual faculties. Now, I'll just tell you about 2 intellectual faculties. I don't want to go into it. That's not the essence of today's class, right? But the intellectual faculties that I'll talk about is 1, intuition. Now, intuition is when we have that idea that just pops into our head, right? Now, most times when you find successful people are people that are very intuitive. They are in tune with their intellectual faculty of intuition, right? Now, another intellectual faculty that, a lot of us use, which, is good, but not so great, is our memory. Now, so intuition and memory are both intellectual faculties. Memory helps us to recount what has happened in the past. But the problem is when you want to set goals, you have to use your intellectual faculty to set your goals. When you're setting goals, most people use the intellectual faculty of memory to set goals. They set goals based on what they've achieved in the past, of which that's not the right intellectual faculty, right? So I'll go, I'll talk about another intellectual faculty, right, which is imagination. Now, if you want to set goals, the intellectual faculty that you should be using to set your goals is your imagination. When you set those goals using your imagination, then you work with your intuition as you're having intuitive ideas to start, to move forward, to take that next step. It's like this. The essence why we are here in this webinar today was because I had an intuitive thought to host an Instagram live video. When I held that Instagram live video, based on that, it grew, and this is why we're having this webinar today. Now, the animal level of awareness, right, is when you don't act like you have intellectual faculties. And a lot of us are guilty of that. Now, you see, an animal doesn't have that reasoning ability to cause things to happen. So it's more or less like the world affects them. They don't have any effect on the world, right? So, for example, like now, you just wake up and say, I want to eat goat meat. And you go and capture the goat. The goat had nothing to do with you deciding to eat goat meat that day. So it doesn't have any impact on the world. But you see, whatever we do has an impact on the world. And so you need to first understand that you have the ability to cause the things that are happening in your life. So you feel like, you are not making enough money. Don't blame anybody. Take responsibility and say, I'm not making money because I have not done the principles that allow me to make money. I'm broke. Don't blame your village people. Don't say I'm broke because, look, there are some people that say they are broke because of the friends they have. There are some people that will say they are broke because maybe they married early. Some people say they are broke because their wife is always collecting their money. Some wives will say they are broke because their husband doesn't give them money. The day you stop taking responsibility for your situation is the day that you are acting at an animal level. Now, the word that, so for example, me, I like to, say that each level has a language. And the language of the animal level is yeah, 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 yeah. Do you have those friends that just complain? All they do is yeah, 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 yeah. They're always complaining. Buhari did not do this. There's no light. My house doesn't have road. My spouse did it. They're always complaining. Now, the day you stop complaining and you start taking responsibility for what happens in your life is the day that you start stepping forward. You have to take responsibility. And remember, we said it's 5 key areas, right? Now, I'll give you guys an example. Now, imagine somebody that says, you ask the person, hey, how come you don't wake up for Subi prayers? And the person says, oh, it's not this thing. They don't, my wife doesn't wake me up, or my husband doesn't wake me up. Why won't you wake up by yourself? Are you a log of wood? Do you understand? So a lot of times when you see people blaming others for their situation, they are operating at an animal level. They don't understand that they have the power to create the future that they want. It will be difficult, it will be hard, it will be scary, but if you take a stance today and say, you know what, from today I'm going to stop complaining about my situation and I'm going to take action that will move me in the direction that I want, right? That's when you start moving out of out of the animal level. Now, there's a saying, right, that says, if anyone can make you glad, sad, or mad, you've been had. Now, why I use this picture, I want you to imagine, you're driving on the road, chilling, feeling cool, feeling happy, and all of a sudden, someone just drives in front of you and drives anyhow. Most people, how will they react? They will start insulting that person. I mean, especially if they live in Lagos, they will start insulting that person. Are you mad? Is something wrong with you? Meanwhile, that person has come, he has done what he wants to do, and he has gone. But you will carry that same annoyance all through the day. To the point where you get home and your kids maybe come running to you and like, leave me alone. They'll be like, what happened? Is it not since morning? That traffic I entered, someone hit my car. Then when I got to the office, my boss shouted on me. Then when I went for lunch, I spilled this thing. Then I lost my ATM card. What's that person saying? Yeah. The person is just complaining. So bad things are going to happen to you. That one is standard. That's life. When you now decide to take action and decide that, look, I'm in charge of my emotions, I'm in charge of my actions, I'm in charge of my thoughts, I'm in charge of all the things that are going through my, because remember, they said that, like, watch your thoughts because your thoughts become your actions, right? Your action now becomes your speech. And before you know anything, it becomes your way of life, all coming from your thoughts. And so what I want you to start doing now is to now start thinking about it. At what level of awareness are you playing? When it comes to, remember, we're talking about the five alive, the 5 key areas. Your faith, do you blame others for any lapses in your faith? Do you blame the weather for you not being able to act out your faith? Do you blame your job, for you not being a charitable person? Do you say that it's because the salary you're collecting is small, that's why you can't give out in charity? Are you blaming someone else for your situation? I want you to look down and look at your tummy and tell me if you are proud of your tummy. Look down, I can see you. Even if your mic is not, even if your camera is not on, I can see you. I have a magic that I use. Ask yourself, are you proud of the protruding tummy that you have? Are you blaming someone else? Are you blaming the food that you're eating? Are you saying that, you can't lose weight because, they are feeding you too much in your house? You can't lose weight because coronavirus came. Are you blaming somebody? I used to say that I'm proud of my amusement park. I said not so proud. Like I said, it's 7 levels of awareness, not 7 levels of judgment. We're not here to judge you. I want to expose. I want to tell you the truth. I want you from today to take control of your life. I want you to think about your bank account. Are you proud of your bank account? Are you proud of the things, the money that you have or the money that you don't have? I want you to think about your family. Are you proud of your relationship with your parents? Are you proud of your relationship with your siblings? Are you proud of your relationship with your spouse? You have the power to control your actions, your thoughts. You have the power to control everything. But until you understand and until you say, you know what, I have the power, you won't be able to take control. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to commit and I want you to type, I have the power. Type it in the comment section. Let me see. I want you to type, I have the power. Because when thought is linked with action, we will see results. So I want you to type, I have the power in the comment section. Ahmed, I love the way you put everything in bold. I like that. I have the power. Because you have the power to be, do, and have anything you want. So I want you to stop blaming people. I want you to stop blaming your circumstances. I want you to stop blaming other people. Because if you can mortgage your happiness or your sadness or how you feel to somebody else, you have entered one chance. So you have to be in charge of your emotions. You have to be in charge of your feelings. You have to be in charge of your thoughts. So that's the first level of awareness. The first level of awareness is the animal level of awareness. And like I said, the animal level of awareness, their language is they are complaining every day, morning to night, complaining. And you know those people, you have those kind of friends, you always want to avoid them. They're always complaining. If it's not the weather that is bad, it's that they have flat tire, it's that their boss shouted on them, it's that the palm oil is too strong, it's that there's no palm oil inside the soup. Now, takes us to the next level of awareness, the mass awareness. Now, I love this cute lamb that I put. Now, the mass level of awareness is when instead of you to blame other people, you are doing things because everybody is doing it. You haven't sat down to think, why am I doing this? Is this moving me forward in the direction that I want to go? Is this helping me to be, do, and have everything that I want? Or are you just doing things because everybody is doing it? Now, same thing. I want you to look at it from the lens of the five alive. Your faith. What are those acts of worship that you do? Do you even know why you're doing it? Do you even know the reason why? Or you're just doing it because everybody's doing it? Unless you are able to put a reason and understand and internalize why you're doing things, when things get rough, you will fail. A lot of people, when you ask them, why do you want to get married? They tell you, I don't know, because everybody's getting married. So I might as well get married too. And that's why when there's a rift, when there's a small bump in the road of the marriage, they want to part ways because there's no why. The reason, the why is not strong. You need to be able to link it. Why do you want to make money? Why do you want your finances to be good? Is it because everybody is doing it? Is it because everybody is making money? There are people that don't want to make money. Why are you eating what you're eating? Eating about 12 midnight. Why? Because everybody's eating about 12 midnight. Because everybody's eating suya. Because everybody's drinking fura. Because everybody's drinking Coca-Cola. Right? Why? You need to understand why you are doing what you're doing. The mass level of awareness. Now, remember I said each level of awareness has a language, right? While the animal level of awareness is the mass level of awareness is bah, like sheep, bah. And when you're baying and you're going, what happens to sheep? They get slaughtered. I'll give you guys a story, right? I'll give you a story of, I don't know if some of you know Nospetco. Now, Nospetco was an investment facility that happened those days, like early 2000s or so. I remember I was still in university then, right? And it was supposedly an oil company, and all they wanted people to do was to pay 450,000 into the account. When you pay 450,000, they will pay you 40,000 every month till the end of the year. 480,000, and then at the end of the year, if you want, you will collect your 450,000 back. So more or less like you've doubled your money. It's either you collect your 450,000 back, or you can reinvest it and then still collect 40,000 every month. Guys, I got into that thing, man. I got into it. They wounded me. Look, listen. I was in 500 level. I convinced my mom. I'm a salesman. Hey, I convinced my sweet talked my mom into joining Ospetco. And so I brought 150,000. She bought 300,000. So when we're collecting it, I was collecting about 12K or so. Now, I did a calculation that at the end of the year, I'll have my own 450K. Then I'll invest it. So by the time I'm finishing NYSC, I was supposed to be a big boy. I was supposed to be made. I had already done the chart. I had already done the graph and everything. Mind you, at that same time, I was doing another investment scheme called Gold Links. It was network marketing, putting people under me. I had done the graph, everything. That same time, I had entered Forever. And look, guys, I wanted to blow since when I was in university. From my university days, I was like, man, I was going to blow. In fact, it was so bad that when I was in university, I told my classmates that they should call me the money, because I felt I was going to make it. I said, everybody should call me the money. And they just call me that. I wonder why. Right? Okay, Yusuf says gold links. You see, guys, those things failed. It failed. Now, why was I doing it? I wasn't doing it because I had an idea of what it entailed. I was doing it because everybody was doing it. The moment you do things because everybody is doing it, you will enter one chance. The language of mass level of awareness is bah. Don't be a black sheep. Do things because you understand why they need to be done. I used to say the man, the myth, the money. I like that. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put that as my tagline. The man, the myth, the money. Right? Now, mass level of awareness. I'll give you guys one more story, right? Before we go ahead. This story bust my head. So there was this lady. She sent her husband one night to buy leg of this lamb, this kind of lamb, the leg, right? She wanted to do steak for him, nice food. But she said they should cut the bony part. Now, the end part, that they should cut it. And so, he went, but you know how guys are now. He probably was on the phone. He forgot to tell the shop people to cut it. He went home. His wife now got upset and she was like, Oga, I told you to cut the bony part. How come they didn't cut the bony part? He now said, but you know how we guys are now. We just look for excuse. Okay, why must I even cut the bony part? What's the essence of cutting the bony part? Then the woman now kept quiet. She couldn't say anything. He said, why now? Tell me, why do I need to cut the bony part? She now said, because my mother used to cut the bony part. Luckily, her mother was in the house. It's okay, fine. Let us end this mystery. So they went to meet the woman's mother. Mama, please tell us, why do they cut the bony part of leg of lamb? The mother to say, I don't know. They say, you don't know? She was like, me too, is my mother that used to cut it. They say, okay, thank God, grandma is alive. So they called grandma. Grandma, how are you? How's everything? My children, I'm fine. Oh, what's happening? Mind you, this guy lives in a penthouse. He lives in a well-funded, he lives in, this kind of houses that have these smart houses where all you have to do is say AC on, heater on, Internet of Things. The guy lives in that kind of house. His oven, his cooking gas is big, fridge, everything, you get. So then I called the grandma. Grandma, how are you guys? Fine. Grandma, we have a problem. They say, what is the problem? We want to find out why they cut leg of lamb. Because, I asked my wife. My wife said she doesn't know it's her mother. So we asked the mother. The mother says it's her own mother. So we want you to help us tell us, why do you cut the leg of lamb? She was like, okay, it's because in those days, the oven we had was too small to fit a whole leg of lamb. So we cut the bony part so that it can fit into the oven complete. 3 generations were doing something because they didn't know why they were doing it. 3 generations. So I'll ask you now, the things that you are doing now, the things that you believe, is it just because it was passed down to you? Or have you really sat down and thought about it? Your ideology about money, is it an idea that you formed by yourself? Or was it just something that was passed down to you from your parents? They tell you money doesn't grow on trees. They tell you have to work very hard to make money. You have to suffer to make money. There are plenty of people starving in the world. Don't waste food. What that does is that it starts to give you a scarcity mindset. So you want to hoard. You want to keep money. You think money is to be kept. But what you don't understand is that money is just an ideology. And money only comes to those who know how to use it. I don't know if you guys have read this book, Richest Man in Babylon, but it's a short book, straight to the point, it's a classic. And it talks about the same thing that happened to me where I went and invested money in something that I didn't know about. Because once you invest in something that you don't know about, you will lose your money. You have a lot of limiting beliefs around money. You think that, oh my God, I can't pay for anything. Now, I'll tell you guys, so my mentor, John C. Maxwell, right? He says that and there's a law that he talks about in his book, 15 Laws of Growth. He talks about the law of the mirror. And the law of the mirror says you must see value in yourself for you to add value to yourself. And which is why a lot of people, when you ask them to come and pay for courses, they'll tell you, no, I don't have money to pay for courses. It's not that they don't have money to pay for courses, because that same person will go to the bar and declare for all his friends. That same person will go to Baskin Robbins and buy ice cream, or will go to Domino's Pizza and buy pizza for 3 different girls every day. But you tell him to come and invest in himself, he tells you he doesn't have the money. It's not the money that is the problem, but it's because he believes that he's not worth adding value, and which is why he will not add value to himself. And so the mass level of awareness is that level where you do things because everybody's doing it. Now, remember, I said that it's the 7 levels of awareness, not the 7 levels of judgment. I'm not judging you. None of us is judging you. Another thing you need to understand is that during the day, you move through the different levels of awareness. But the question I will ask you is, where are you renting space? Where are you spending most of your time? You can start the day at a low level of awareness, but you can consciously move up. Or you can start the day at a high level of awareness, and before the end of the day, you're at a low level of awareness. But what you need to understand is, where are you renting space? Where do you find yourself most times? Are you acting around? Is your mind in a prison? Or have you been able to unlock your mind and really accept all the possibilities? Speaking about prison, I'm a big Matrix fan. And so I've called my friend Morpheus to just give us a bit of a pep talk. So sit back, relax, and listen.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Now, I want to ask you a question. I want you to type in the comment section, the red pill or the blue pill. Which one do you want to take? If you were in that situation, which would you take? The red pill or the blue pill? Type it in the comment section. So the blue pill says you wake up as if nothing ever happened. But the red pill, I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I offer you is the truth. All right. Brume says red pill. Yusuf says red pill. Abdallah says red pill. Zaradin says red pill. Oluwashola says red pill. Okay, great. It seems that you guys want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes. All right, let's dive in. The third level of awareness is the aspirational level. Now, guys, there's a reason why I said it is now that the rabbit hole we're going to go through the rabbit hole. Because you see this aspirational level, It is the most deceptive level ever. Now, the first level of awareness is the animal level. You blame everybody for your circumstance. You blame your village people. You blame your parents because they hit you on the head when you were a child. That's why you can't be successful again. The second level of awareness is mass level, where you're following everybody. You're following everybody. The third level of awareness is the aspirational level. Now, why I say this is the most dangerous level is because this level, their language is I'm gonna. You know those people? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna. At the beginning of this year, I'm gonna. 2020, I'm gonna. They make great declarations of change. At the beginning of every year, they were like, you know what, this year I'm going to go to the gym. This year I'm going to lose 20 kg. This year I'm going to have that 6-pack. This year I'm going to save money. This year I'm going to be the best version of myself. I want you to think back about all the declarations that you made at the beginning of 2020. We're in September, the 9th month. How far? How far? How market? Have you achieved the things that you said you were going to achieve? Have you taken any step towards that direction? Mind you, mass level, animal level of awareness, you blame COVID. If you blame COVID, it's be careful. Remember, it is not the 7 levels of judgment, but the 7 levels of awareness. I'm only here to show you the truth. I'm not judging you. It's okay. If you've made mistakes in the past, it's fine. Today, we're charting a new course. Today, we're moving ahead. Today, we're forging forward. You see, the level 3, why I say is the most deceptive level, is because at this level, you don't hold yourself accountable. Your friends don't hold you accountable. Your family doesn't hold you accountable. So you say, this year, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go on a diet. But you wake up in the morning, you finish one whole, bread. And nobody tells you anything. They don't say, but I thought you said you wanted to lose weight. Okay, how are you going to lose weight with eating bread? And you know the worst part, let me even tell you guys the worst part, is if the bread, if you're in Abuja, if the bread is maybe from Next, or it's from Kilimanjaro. Abuja people, if you know any Abuja person here, if you know Kilimanjaro bread, you know what I'm talking about. That bread, if you take it with stew, you can finish one whole loaf. A lot of you are going to say that you want to save money, you want to have more money by the end of the year, but you haven't done anything to make more money. You haven't done anything to save money. You're just there. And because you've made that great declaration of change, you think that it will mean that you will do it. You start to feel good. And now I've bought the trainers. I bought skippy rope. I bought new Nike head to toe with face cap and eye goggles. I'm going to start running. This is September. You have not even run 0.1 kilometer. How far? This is a wake-up call. Remember, it's not the 7 levels of judgment, it's the 7 levels of awareness. The more you keep declaring, the more you keep saying, I'm going to change, the more you keep saying, I'm going to be better, but you don't take any action, the more you will stay stuck. The more you will stay in that position without moving. Which takes us. But let's even talk about a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it says that of what use is it to make heroic amendments if the same old lawbreaker is going to keep them? So you make amendments, you tell yourself that I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to, to save money, I'm going to be better, I'm going to be a better spouse. But you make the amendment to yourself. But you are the same lawbreaker, you are the same person that is going to break the law. How are you going to hold yourself accountable? And so when someone comes and says, you know what, hey, come and do coaching or come and join an accountability group, you'll be like, nah, I want aspire to perspire gang. I don't have time for you guys. But you're moving around in circles. You're on a hamster wheel. You're just on that hamster wheel, running, rat race, chaka, 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 chaka. Moving without, see, you know what they say, work done zero. Your motion, you are making motion, but there is no impact. There is no results. And in this life, it's all about the results. So I ask you, the thing that you have done from the time you were born till date, how is that working for you? How has that helped you to change your situation? Are you still the same person that you are? If you are the same person that you are last year as you are now, you have failed. This is not the 7 levels of judgment. It's the 7 levels of awareness. I'm not saying it to make you feel bad, but it's a wake-up call for you to wake up and get going. You know what? If you are awake, I want you to type awake in the comment section. If you are awake, if you've woken up now, type awake in this comment. I want to know the people that are awake and the people that are still sleeping. Awesome. Awake. I like Ahmed's energy, man. Everything is in caps with plenty ginger. So if you are awake, let's go to the next level. The 5th level of awareness, or rather, sorry, the 4th level of awareness is individual expression. Now, this is the hardest. Now, I told you that the previous one, where you are making great declarations of change is the trickiest, but this is the hardest. And I'll tell you why. Because the moment that you make a declaration and you step forward to make that declaration happen, life will hit you. Bass. Boss, not just one bass. Bass, boss. And you will be dropped like this. So let's use weight loss as an example. You say you want to go to the gym. You say you want to lose weight. You make that declaration. You go to the gym. Pump weight, do squats, run on treadmill. What happens to you the next day? Won't you feel like this guy? Won't you feel like they've beaten you blue, red, and okay? Brumer says the audio is clipping. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me clearly? If you can hear me, please type loud and clear. Let me know. Okay, great. Audio is perfect. So maybe it's network, Brumer. Right? Now, you step out. You've made that great declaration of change and you step out. You go to the gym. What happens to you after the gym? You wake up, your whole body is paining you. You're too tired. Your eyes are paining you. Your back, your chest, your legs, everything is paining you. You can't even breathe. You don't even know what to do. This is what happens at the 4th level. Individual expression. The time that you say you want to cross the express, life will tell you, Egungun, be careful. na express you dey go. Trailer will jam you. I'll give you guys a personal story. 3 years ago, my wife and I decided to open a pharmacy store in Kano. Now, we had been in level 3 for a very long time. We're making great declarations of change. We're saying we're going to open a pharmacy. We're going to open a pharmacy. We're going to open a pharmacy. We're talking. We never took action. We now decided to take action. What happened? We stepped out, got a shop with little funds, furnished the place. It was so bad that we didn't have enough money. We couldn't buy much drugs. What we did was the empty cartons of the drugs, instead of throwing the empty cartons away, we used it to line up the shelves just so that, it doesn't look empty. So let's say, for example, we buy a carton of Quatem, different packs inside. Instead of us to throw the main pack carton out, we'll keep that carton in the shelf and then we'll put small Quatem. So that when you enter the shop, it gives you the illusion that it's full because we didn't have enough money. And then because we wanted the face of the shop to look really beautiful, we decided to put these frameless glass doors. Instead of using aluminum, I was like, no, let's put frameless door. Now, each frameless door is 150,000. Left, right, 150,000. We put it there, we closed, we're ready to resume. Guess what happened? In fact, we even traveled. We were supposed to go for Umrah. So we traveled while they were fixing the door. The plan was we'll go for Umrah. When we come back, then we'll launch the shop. We were transit in Egypt. When I got network, opened my phone. It was already night in Nigeria. Security guard had sent me a message that the glass had shattered. Who shattered it? I don't know. Shattered on the ground, one side of the door. So we had to pay another 150,000 of money that we didn't even have. That's what happens at the level of individual expression. You need to understand that as K is equal to constant, when you step in the direction of your dreams, you will face difficulties. Life is difficult. Get over it. You are not any special. I'm sure, growing up, our parents told us, oh, you're so special. You are the ice cream of the world. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you're not that special. The way you think you're special is the way all of us are special. So life is going to throw things at you. And the truth is, the reason why life will throw things at you is so that only those who deserve it, only those who deserve true greatness will achieve it. So only those that when life gives them basketballs and they fall down like this guy, they will stand up. Which takes us to the 5th level. Discipline. Now, once life hits you, the only thing that's going to make you wake up and get back in the game is discipline. I like what Yusuf says. He said, greatness is never served a la carte. You have to work for it. You have to go to the farm. You have to go and toil. You have to bring it. A lot of people are praying to God, oh God, give me house. But when God gives them cement, block, and sand, they start to cry, oh God has forsaken me. What they want is it to come for the house to just manifest. You see, there's this concept that I recently learned, and I found it very, very impactful. And it's about intuition. And so they were talking about intuition, and it says that intuition, when you pray, right? You're praying, oh God, bless me with a house. Oh God, give me private jets. I mean, that's one of the prayers I pray. Oh God, give me a Ford Mustang. Give me a 6-bedroom terrace with an AC, with a swimming pool at the top roof. How do you think God will answer your prayer? The biggest mistake we make is that we think that, if you pray for money, God will just give you a lot. No. He answers our prayers by ideas. So God will plant that idea into your mind. So a lot of people, here's the rat race. So the rat race is this: God, give me money. God, give me money. Then God plants an idea for you in your head that you can make more money. You'll be like, no, this idea, leave me. I'm praying. You don't have to work on the idea. God, give me money. Then idea comes into your head. Idea, leave me. I'm praying. How? That's why the rich will continue getting richer and the poor will continue getting poorer. It's not a curse. It's not insensitivity, but it's the truth. When you have an idea, it's how God has answered your prayers. That idea that you have. At the beginning of this webinar, I told you guys how I had an idea to branch in Kano Polo Club. From that branching, it led me to posting pictures on Instagram, which led me to using captions, which led me to writing a book. And I'll tell you guys what a lot of people don't know, right? I recently gave my company notice of quitting. And I gave them till October 30th. So I'm going to work till October 30th. But after October, I'm flying solo. All from that idea. Now, am I scared? Yes, I am. I am scared. Do I think I might be broke? Maybe. Am I not? I don't think I will. But, it's not going to be easy. But am I ready? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Am I happy? I'm balling, man. So, those ideas that you have, they are not random. Never take it for granted. Look, if I hadn't stepped out, I'd probably be where I am up till now. Now, I'm not saying 95 is bad. 95 is good. I mean, I learned a lot. And you know what is even more shocking is that right now I can tell you that I'm at the peak of my career. Not peak, but like I'm at that point where, man, I'm about to blow. Because I've worked 11 years in the downstream sector, oil and gas downstream sector. I've worked in every single unit you can think about: operations, lubricant sales, lubricant production, sales, retail sales, commercial sales, warehouse. I've done it all. So me walking away from that is because I can see a higher purpose, and because I'm saying yes to my dreams. I'm saying yes to my abilities. I'm saying yes to my potential. But I'll tell you guys something. Let me be very vulnerable and be very open to you guys. 3 years ago, if you had asked me, okay, no, let me not say 3 years ago. Okay, you know what? The honest truth is I've always spent money on education, right? All my life. So I wanted to make an example like 3 years ago. But yeah, this example still suffices, right? I've always spent money on education. I did masters, I did, but 3 years ago, if you had asked me to spend money on a non-certificate course, I wouldn't have. On just personal development, I probably wouldn't have. The only money I used to spend was money on masters. If I'm doing masters, yes, I know I'm doing masters. Do you get? Let me have my pali. Anything that is not giving me pali, I'm not interested. But between 2018 and now, I have spent at least $7,000 on personal development, on courses that there's no pali. No pali, just attend the course, gain what you want to gain, and get out. Now, why am I saying this? Because it takes discipline. It takes discipline. Discipline is what will make you go out. It's what will make you, after hitting basketballs, you wake up. How do you know where discipline comes? I'll tell you guys. Discipline comes in two things: your calendar and your bank account. Check your calendar. So you were in level 3 and you made great declarations of change. So check your calendar. Are you booking time for those things? You want to grow, you want to earn more, you want to get promotion, but the only courses you are attending are courses that your office is paying for you to attend. Listen, your office will only train you so that you can be effective at the job that you currently do. They will only pay you for the job that you currently do. If you want a higher job, you have to go out and improve yourself. Which was why from the time I finished university, I always improved myself. I always added value to myself. And till date, I have 3 master's degrees and I'm more loading. Maybe I'll get to maybe 5 or 7 before, I call it quits. And the reason why is because I know that I have to add value to myself. So even now, I was talking to somebody earlier on today, and I was telling him, oh yeah, I have 4 coaches. And I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah. I have 4 coaches. He was like, but you're a coach. I was like, yes, but I can't coach myself. In fact, come to think about it, I actually have 5. I can't coach myself, but I have 5 people that coach me, and not 3. No, each of them 6-figure coaching. Pay them 6 figures for them to coach me in different aspects of my life. So the question now is, are you coachable? Are you able to be coached? Are you someone that is interested in being coached? Do you have the discipline to continue? Do you have the discipline that when life hits you, you get up? And so if you want to know how disciplined you are, look at your account balance, look at your bank statement. That is how you know your discipline. Now, if you check your bank statement and you say you want to grow, you want to earn more, but in the past 1 month, you haven't spent money on a course, how do you want to do it? How? If you say you want to grow, but for the past 1 month, your calendar doesn't show that you have spent at least 4 to 5 hours on a personal development course or reading a book, how do you want to do it? If you don't even schedule your day on your calendar, Me, I don't even know what to tell you, Seth. You understand? I don't even know what to tell you. If you don't even schedule your day, how do you want to start? Where do you want to start from? And so your discipline is going to come out in your calendar and in your account statement, which takes us to level 6. Level 6 is experience. And the reason why I use this particular picture is because it reminds me of Thomas Edison. Now, Edison tried creating the incandescent light bulb more than 1,000 times before he was able to create it. Now, what happened was, if you asked him, when they asked him, you failed 1,000 times, he was like, no, I found 1,000 ways that this won't work. He has found 1,000 other ways. So he has gotten experience. So once you have basbos and you have the discipline to keep at it, what's going to happen is that you will now have experience. Once you have experience, you are calmer. That's why you see older people are more settled. They are calmer. They are more chilling. You know, so that's how it is. Experience gives you that, for you to be able to understand things, for you to be able to be calmer. When you know that, I'll give you an example. Like me, I told you guys, I gave my office, notice of resignation. And why? Because I've been through, individual expression. Life has hit me basbos. I have been disciplined. And so because of that discipline, I have experience. Because of that discipline, I have experience that will make me understand that, you know what, it's going to be okay. You know what, keep at it. So discipline is what gives you experience. And then the last level of awareness. But before we go into the last level of awareness, I always tell you guys that I always want to introduce you guys to my friends. So earlier on, I introduced you guys to Morpheus. Morpheus is a very good friend of mine, in my mind, right? I want to introduce you guys to another of my friend. They call him a thousand eyes, right? And he will tell you guys what mastery is all about.
Kung Fu. It means supreme skill from hard work. A great poet has reached Kung Fu. The painter, the calligrapher, they can be said to have Kung Fu. Even the cook, the one who sweeps steps, or a masterful servant, can have Kung Fu. Practice, preparation, endless repetition, until your mind is weary and your bones ache, until you're too tired to sweat, too wasted to breathe. That is the way, the only way one acquires Kung Fu.
And that brings us to the 7th level. The 7th level is mastery. Just the way my good friend, Thousand Eyes, says that for you, it's from endless repetition. It's from, to the point where you get too tired to sweat, too wasted to breathe. That is when you get to mastery. Mastery comes from endless repetition, from going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, not giving up, having discipline, sticking to it, seeing it to the end. That's when you get to the level of mastery. And so now I want you to reflect the 5 parts of your life: your faith, your family, fitness, finance, and flourish. Where are you renting space? Which level of awareness are you on in all these parts? What can you do to move to the next level of awareness? Who are the people that can hold you accountable? Who do you need in your circle for you to move up to a higher level of awareness? You see, one of the things that, one of the tools or practices that really helps you to unlock your awareness is coaching. Who is coaching you? You see, the difference between those people that have coaches and those that don't is like elite footballers and those roadside footballers. That's the major difference. You see, the only people that require coaching is elite performers. A roadside footballer doesn't need a coach, but Arsenal players need a coach. Man U, Barcelona, all of them. For you to move into an elite performance in your life, in these 5 areas of your life, the honest truth is you need coaching. That's just the truth. There's no 2 ways about it. And so I want you to reflect, how do you move from the different levels of awareness in the different spheres of your life? Because you see, for you to grow yourself, you have to know yourself. And so I want to introduce you guys, before we go, to the Business Leaders Club. Now, the Business Leaders Club is a monthly subscription service that I run, where you learn leadership tips, these kind of lessons, where I bring a mentor to teach you